Hey, good morning all.
Good morning. Yes, we'll move again back for the lesson. Yes. Yeah. Okay, lastly we discussed about fetch, decode, executing cycle. Okay, we are writing that one, but didn't write what is decode and execute. Fetch, decode, and execute. Okay, both data instruction can be stored in the NDR in the fetch, decode, execute cycle. We said in the next instruction, fetch from the memory address currently stored in the MAR and instruction in the MDR. Okay, so content of the MDR are then copied into current instruction in the CIR. The PC then what incremented increased by one and going for the next instruction. What happened? Okay, what happened? First of all, fetch decode execute cycle. Next instruction is fetched for the memory address currently stored in the MAR and instruction is stored in the MDR. The content of the NDR then copy to the current instruction register. Content of the NDR copied for the current instruction register. Then PC is then incremented by 1. So that the next instruction can be then be processed. Okay, like that. So they are having what happened? They are having mainly what decode and executed. This is important. Decode. Decode and executed. This is very important. Decode and executed. Okay. Right. That decode part, the instruction in then decode so that it can be interpreted in the next part of the cycle. Actually, what? The instruction is then decode so that it can be interpreted for the next part or next part. So already but interpreted by decode. Decode part can be interpreted for the next part and also execute. Execute is now previously decode is interpreted for next part. That interpreted part is what? Running node. The running node, that printing or something that's calling execute. Actually running. Previously decode is just what? Just interpreted. But execute can be what? CPU pass decode instruction set of control signal to the appropriate component. Set of control signal to the appropriate component within the computer system. This allows each instruction to be carried out for the logical sequence. It may be carried out with the logical sequence. Okay, please write down. Yes, that's very important. Okay, write it down. Yes. It can be running out like that. That's calling execute and the decode. Okay, decode and execute it. Yes. So here, as previously said, here but that PHG code executed cycle. I think already wrote that one. Okay. And the next, this is an important part. The what we will write, we will take some time for that one. What the actually cause cache and the internal clock cycle. That's very important clock cycle. Okay, write down cause, cache, and internal clock. The cause, cache memory, and the internal clock. As previously I said, that consider factors that determine the performance of CPU. So we have to consider. We will now consider the factors that determine the performance of the CPU. The first thing to consider in the role in the system clock. The first thing, okay, the first thing, what is there? In here, role in the system clock. Actually, clock define what? That synchronize all operation. First of all, that clock can be defined. What is this operation? What is the next operation? What is the next one? Like that one. Clock can be synchronized all clock cycles. Okay. That clock define actually clock cycles. What is next? What is next? Right that. Okay. It can be defined there. That's very important. Okay. As mentioned earlier, the control bus transmit what timing signal ensuring everything fully synchronized. Okay. So by increasing clock speed, okay, by increasing clock speed, the processing speed of the computer is also increased typically. That means what? If it is increasing with your clock speed, that processing time also, that process speed is also increasing. If they are having good process, something like 3.5 gigahertz means they are having what? 3.5 billion of clock cycle for the second. If they are having more megahertz with your computer, that means what? By a second, it can be do lot of clock cycle. That's the meaning. The process speed is actually measured by what? Measured by the clock speed. The clock cycle. How many number of clock cycle that can be do within a second? Clear? Okay, write down this highlighted part. Okay, right. So this is very so this one. By increasing clock speed, the computer is increasing also their what? Processing speed. The process speed is actually measured by the clock cycles. Write it. Process speed is actually measured by the clock cycle. Yes, it defines the clock cycle, not others. Yeah. Other thing, although the computer speed of the computer may have been increased, so it isn't possible to say that computer's overall performance is what necessary to increase by using a higher clock speed. They are having higher clock speed, there should be necessary to perform that one. Other factor need to consider like that. So the processor can't do the all the things. That clock speed actually mention what processor thing. So there can be, but you have to consider other part. For example, what you have to write some examples. So you have to consider other factors also. Okay, write these highlighted things quickly. You should be consider other factors also. What are they? The width of the address bus and the data bus. The first thing one, that width of the address bus and the data bus. The width of the address bus and the data bus. What is that? As mentioned earlier, can also affect computer performance and the needs to taken into account. Okay, effect of the computer performance and need that should be taken into account. That's the best thing. Okay, there should be following up other factors also. You have to consider other factors need to consideration. That main thing is what? The width of the address bus and the data bus. That also can affect computer what? Performance and need to taken into account. That's the main thing. Other thing means actually what? That width of the address bus and data bus. It should be what mentioned earlier can also affect computer performance and need to taken into account. Okay. Yes. Write it. Yes. Write this highlighted equally, right? Yes. You should be aware of that one, okay? That address was certainly there. Yes. It's mainly. And next thing, what is next thing? The overclocking. Next thing you have to consider the overclocking. Overclocking is a what? Factor to consider. Overclocking. That means actually what? The clock speed can be changed by the accessing BIOS. The accessing of BIOS can be changed the clock speed. The clock speed can be depend on the accessing of BIOS also. BIOS can be changed what? Basic input output system that can be altering the settings. It can be altering the setting. However, using clock speed higher than the computer was decided by the leader program. Okay. No need to write example. No need to write example. Okay, just write some example like here. Shortly, execute the instruction of the operation. Okay. And also it can be overlock in the lid of the serious overhead. Can be overlocking. It can be overlock in the left of the serious overheating of the CPU again leading to the unreliable performance. That may be what? Overlocking can be led. Serious overheating. Sometimes you can see they are having overlocking can be led for the serious overheating of the CPU again leading unreliable performance. Because of overheating, there can be have what? Unreliable performance of the CPU. You can see it become heat your computer. Okay. Yes. Because of that. Why? There are overclocking. Try to take overclocking. Okay. Write it down. Yes. Okay, such that it may be what affected for the what series overheating of CPU. Okay, with the unreliable performance. Okay, write it this. Yes, write it as. Okay, there can be have overclocking. It may be affected for the unreliable what performance. So next is use of the cache, the cache memory. The use of the cache memory can also improve the CPU performance, unlike RAM and the cache memory located in the CPU itself. Okay, we will discuss them. The use of the cores, they are having you know dual core like that. They are having something like related to the performance. So we will discuss them. First of all, it should be discussed on what width of the address bar and the overlocking of the factor considered. It should be considered there. Okay. We will discuss them on the next day. Okay. We will discuss other thing on the next day. So I will wind up for today. Almost time up. Okay. So okay, I'll quickly wind up for today. We will discuss other details on the next day. Okay, Mati? Okay. So good morning all. See you on the next day. Okay. Good morning all. See you next day.